Hello. This is the first main test I'm gonna do, and I hope it goes well, because I've been having some issues with screen capturing and other recording nonsense. But welcome to my channel. This is my very first test video, because yeah, I've never done this before, but I am excited, so I'm looking forward to it. So I hope it will be enjoyable for everyone to listen to me ramble about this game. I got this game about a year ago as a present from my boyfriend to help me relax, because that's not one of my strong suits. So I got excited about the new update 1.4 that was recently released for PC. So I figured it would be fun and relaxing for me to randomly talk to people that don't exist and just have a good time and see if anyone enjoys hearing me ramble. So I'm going to be making a new character, and I want to just play through a new farm and just do whatever suits me at the moment and just discuss the game a bit. So I am making an entirely new file, and I hope that I can also help some of the people who are just starting to play for the very first time and see if they enjoy watching this. So I'm going with some basic settings. You can pick several different types of farms, all with a different advantage. I'm going with the new farm, the Four Corners farm, which is usually used for multiplayer. It was newly released specifically for multiplayer, but I prefer playing alone, generally speaking, so I will be using it on my own because it has a few nice advantages. If you don't know yet, every single farm has a different advantage. So you have the standard farm, which is really good if you are fond of the actual farming. Riverland farm for fishing, forest farm for foraging, great source of hardwood. The hilltop farm is for mining, so if you enjoy mining and you specialize in forging or want to upgrade your tools really quickly, this might be a very useful one for you. And then you have the wilderness farm, where you have combat specifics. So the last one combines most of the others. I don't think it has wilderness, but that's something you can change in late game. But yeah, normally I go for forest farm because foraging is my favorite thing to do in the game. I find it most relaxing. I am very much a casual player, and I don't play particularly well when I have to fight or fish. Everything else goes pretty well. So yeah, there are some Easter eggs in this game. For example, if you name your favorite thing Concerned Ape, you get a special feature later on somewhere. And I always thought that was cute. But I still have to figure out a farm name, which I'm always terrible at. So I'm just gonna go with coat, because that's the first thing I'm looking at. And I figure that suits me pretty well. Going with a bit of ginger. Let's see, they added a whole bunch of new outfits and stuff. So I'm just gonna click through to see if there's anything fun. I haven't seen this before. There's quite a lot of new stuff, and it looks kind of nice. I have a fondness for certain types of outfits, so I'm just gonna go with what I like, and that's usually something green, because in real life I wear green every single day. Like, literally every single day I'm always wearing something green. Ah, cute, a bunny shirt. But I see something green. Let's see if there's anything else. I like this one. There's also new pants and skirts and stuff. I prefer regular pants. I find them more convenient in everyday life. So, and then we can still pick a pet, because they added some new pets, so you can have different types of cats and different types of dogs, which I really, really like. I find it very funny and hilarious. I am very much a cat person. I usually go for the red cat because that's the only one that was available so far, but now I'm gonna go for the grey one because it looks adorable. And now we're going to not skip through the intro, because as I said, I also want this to be like an introductory course to playing Stardew for people who are not gamers whatsoever. Like me. Like this. I always get sad from Grandpa. He's so nice and we never actually get to thank him. But we can see that he's a fighter, and I assume this is our grandma, who's sadly already no longer here. And the god in this world is called Yoba, and I assume this is a ritual to Yoba. Must say that that's starting to happen in real life right now. It's kind of busy, so this is my break, my relaxation. I'm playing Stardew. So in the spirit of the game where we're given Stardew Valley as basically a present, I will be escaping to it as well, but then digitally. Definitely ready. Let's go. Goodbye, Grandpa. Ooh. Joja. Work. Think it ever goes to rest? I doubt it. I always find it funny because you see someone who's been terminated. It's weird that they haven't been replaced yet. Here we are. And here's a skeleton. Because that's promising. You know you're in a good work environment if they leave the body so long that they turn into skeletons. That's your average office job, obviously. Give me the letter. Yep. If you're reading this, you must be in dire need of a change. The same thing happened to me long ago. I'd lost sight of what mattered most in life, real connections with other people and nature. So I dropped everything and moved to the place I truly belong. I've enclosed the deed to that place, my pride and joy, Coat Farm. It's located in Stardew Valley on the southern coast. It's the perfect place to start your new life. This was my most precious gift of all, and now it's yours. I know you'll honor the family name, my dear. Good luck. Love, Grandpa. P.S. If Lewis is still alive, say hi to the old guy for me, will ya? Well, yeah, we're gonna have to, because he's the one who greets us, but if we didn't have to, we could skip Lewis, you know? He's not my favorite guy, you know? But oh well. Could be worse. Could be raining. Ah, the bus, when it still works. It's been so long. Pretty surroundings though. And the bird is pretty cute. There used to be a scene situated on the bus where you could talk to people who were traveling to Stardew Valley, but that got removed. Hello, Robin. You must be Tara Hill. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Let's go. Hey, ho. Let's go. So our farm is a little cluttered. A little bit. But hey, we got a free house. So I'm not gonna say no to a free house, to be quite honest. What's the matter? Well, yeah, it's a bit cluttered. Some good soil, thanks, that's good. Little dedication, have to clean it up in no time. That's easy for you to say, you apparently don't have an energy bar. Hey, why is my back black? I thought I was wearing green. I have been misled. Oh, the front is green. Interesting, interesting. Mayor Lewis, hello. someone new moves in. Yeah, it doesn't happen ever again, even if you keep playing for 10 years. Not a lot of influx here. Very rustic. Yes, I agree. Nothing wrong with rustic. Rude. Rude. Yeah, I can see that innocent little hand going up like, no offense, it's a joke, but you just called my house crusty. That's not nice. Yeah, thank you, Mayor Lewis. Hey, you're laughing at him? Rude. Oh, it's a sales pitch. Not so funny when someone else does it, is it? Yes, I will do that because I want to forage. Townspeople would appreciate that. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm glad I can help in some way, I guess. So this is a bit creepy because apparently the mayor thinks it's okay to just be on your farm at night while you're asleep. I find that a bit uncomfortable, but whatever floats your boat, you know? Thanks. Morning. Okay, good morning. Let's see what we can do. I like to turn on the fire in the morning. It doesn't serve any purpose, but hey, why not? Living off the land. If you haven't played Stardew before, this is a good place to start. This will give you a ton of information that will help you along your way. It will give you tips that you otherwise wouldn't really figure out unless you find tutorials online somewhere or you watch other people play. For example, they tell you in this that the worms you see in the ground, the moving little twigs, that you have to hoe them up, and that will allow you to find artifacts and clay and sometimes stone or other stuff. It's very practical to check this every now and then. It's also nice to check the TV for your luck, because your luck will tell you, especially in the mines or for foraging, what you're gonna find. So if you go to the mines on a day like this where the luck will not be on your side, there's a chance you will not find a lot of ore, not a lot of gems, not a lot of artifacts. So it's better to go to the mines on a luck day. Today is bad luck, but it doesn't really matter because we can't go to the mines anyway because it's still blocked off. And then last but not least, the weather report, something to check on a regular basis, especially if you do not like farming and watering, just as I do, because I hate watering every day. But if you want to skip that, then when it's rained you don't have to water your crops, which makes life a lot easier. So I would highly recommend checking that to see, so you can plan a bit, and once the time comes you can upgrade your watering can. Just do it the day you see the next day will be a rainy day. So if it's, for example, on Monday, they say it will rain on Tuesday, give it to the person upgrading stuff on Monday and you can pick it up on Wednesday, so you don't miss a day of watering, basically. And as usual, we get a small present from Mayor Lewis, which is parsnip seeds. This will be our first earnings, or our first major earnings, which will help us on our way to becoming a farmer. I'm currently cleaning only the weeds. You can do this with a scythe, and the scythe using means you don't use any energy, which is very useful to do in early game. So you can just go around all day with this thing and it won't cost any energy. So it allows you to clean up a whole bunch before you actually have to use tools and energy. Because especially in the early game, energy is your biggest friend and enemy, because most of the time you will run out of energy before the end of the day. There are several ways you can replenish your energy. You can go to the spa once it opens, or you can eat food. And eating food is usually the quickest and most efficient way, because you will start having it in your backpack really quickly. Another thing to do at the start that I usually find very practical is make sure you get about 50 wood. If you collect 50 wood, you can build a chest, and that will allow you a lot of extra space, because at the beginning you will only have a small amount of backpack space. You can buy more later, but it will cost quite a lot. So you have to take that into consideration, that the first few days or weeks you won't have that much space in your backpack. So making chests is going to save you, because it means you have so much extra storage, and you can save all kinds of stuff to make sure that you have something of everything, because you'll usually need it at some point in your life. Stardew life. Another advantage of getting rid of the weeds would be that you can sometimes get mixed seeds, as you see here. You can also plant these, and as the parsnip seeds, they just grow into crops. And these crops are from the standard crop set for the season. So whatever season you plant them in, it will match that season. So it can actually grow, because you can't grow crops outside of their designated seasons. Okay, let's pick it. I'm just gonna clear a small space in the front of my house, because it will be convenient to just plant stuff there, because this map is pretty damn big, and it's gonna take a while to clear it, to organize it, and to really get things going in this map. So I'm just gonna clear this one and focus on this alone. Cutting down trees is a boring job, but it must be done. Go away, stupid weeds. By cutting down trees, you upgrade your foraging level. I always thought it would be farming, but it's not. You can have there are several skills you can have. Let's see where they are. Here. So you have farming, mining, foraging, fishing, and combat. As I mentioned before, most of these are used on one of the specialty maps. This map obviously has 4 out of 5. So the 5th one you could do in the mines, and in new additions to the game, actually, they made some changes that will allow you to go to multiple places for combat. So that gives a lot of extra options if you don't particularly want to have a specific farm for combat, but still want to do combat. Still, if you're going through the mines, you'll have plenty of combat to do. As you can see now, my whole backpack is full. So this is the moment where it's very useful to get a chest. I already made the mistake of having my backpack completely full and an excess of wood, which will mean that if I craft something, I won't have space to put it in my backpack. So fiber is not that useful for me right now, so I'm just gonna throw that away and make a chest. You do that in the crafting area. And then I'm gonna put the chest in front of my house, so I can easily access it all day long, every day, just before I go to bed. Because you mustn't forget that you have to go to sleep relatively early. Well, it depends on what you find early, obviously, but you have to be asleep by 2 a.m. Otherwise you will collapse from exhaustion, and sometimes you will lose money and stuff. And sometimes nice people will find you and you will only lose a little. Sometimes people who aren't so nice will find you and take it all, which can get very annoying very quickly. I am almost out of energy. As you can see here, I only have 60 out of 270 left. So I'm just gonna see if I can chop down one more tree. And then I'm gonna put some stuff in the chest and go foraging, because foraging also doesn't take any energy, and it will allow me to introduce myself to the first set of people in the town. Yay, managed to get the tree. Okay, let's go. I will do planting tomorrow. I am not that fond of farming, as I already mentioned. I will not be needing any of these, because these are all for different purposes than you need for going through the town, hopefully. Unless you want to hit people with an axe, I'm cool with that. Some of these people are not great. But yeah, this is the new map. If you haven't seen this before, The map is pretty big. You can even see it on the smaller map. So this is the map of Stardew Valley. This is the map of the farm, and it's kind of laid out like a 4-leaf clover. So here you have a corner that is specifically for mining. This one with the obviously big lake is for fishing. This one has hardwood that replenishes, and this one is mostly used for farming, as you can see by the fact that it already has a farm layout that I didn't make. So it's more of an indication. The cave that you have on your farm, everyone has a cave like this on their farm. It's moved. So normally it's right of the greenhouse, now it's left of the greenhouse. And just to the right of the greenhouse is the watering bin for your pet once you get it. And these little statues are used for warp totems. So if you make a farm totem, which you can get way later in the game, then you can warp on home so you don't have to walk all the way. So here is Marnie's farm, and there's Marnie. Let's go say hi to Marnie. Marnie is the love of my life because she gives me animals, and I love the cute little animals. I adore them. Look at these little cows. And you have little tiny sheep and little tiny pigs and ducks and chickens and bunnies. And there's Haley. She's going to ignore me. Yes, because Haley is not a very nice person. I don't like Haley. Apparently she has the greatest character development of all the single people in this game, because she can marry people and stuff like that, but I have never had a fondness for her. She's too difficult for me to give gifts to. She doesn't like gems, she doesn't like a lot of stuff. So this area is useful in the early game because it has a lot of spring onions, and these spring onions will provide you with some extra energy throughout the day when you don't have a lot of energy yet. Because this amount of energy, it will, 1, go up, and 2, you will level up your skills, which will make you more efficient, which means it will cost less energy to chop down a full tree, which is very useful, but it takes a while to get there. Right now I think it takes 20-ish hits, and towards the end it only takes about 4. So you have spring forageables, and you always have 4 main forageables. Spring has a 5th one, which is the spring onion, but it's not the official forageable for this season. So you have daffodils, horseradish, dandelion, horseradish, and daffodils. And we haven't found a daffodil or a leek yet. The leek is the last one. So we're gonna see if we can find those. And let's say hi to the wizard. We can't open the door yet, but that doesn't matter. I love the wizard. The wizard is totally me. He lives in a tower somewhere in the forest where no one can find him. That's my life goal, basically. If I could live in a tower, doesn't even have to be in a forest, I would do it in a heartbeat. I've always wanted a tower. The city where I live actually has some houses with these tiny little towers. They're not old houses, it's just for aesthetics. But I've always wanted one of those. They're awesome. I would just put in a little bench or something and just read books there or play games or something. Also, something that's fun to do is check the trash cans. The trash cans sometimes give you useful stuff like a horseradish. They added this animation, and I love that actually. The animation for opening a trash can is adorable. I think they added it in the last update. And I think it's awesome. I didn't know you could look through the trash cans for the longest time. But yeah, it's very useful. Sometimes you find whole cakes in it, or fish, or basically anything. Leah. There are 28 people in town right now. There will be more later. And here in the social tab you can see who you've met and what your relationship with them is. So you have a whole bunch of people here and a bunch of the single people, and you will notice that they have 2 grayed out houses. They will only be opened up when you start dating them. So you have to give them a bouquet, which is the Stardew Valley sign for, hey, I want to date someone. And then you can date them and you can open up more friendship points and more heart events. Because if you get to a certain amount of hearts, then you can see an event and just learn a little bit more about the character. A lot of people really enjoy that. I find them horribly annoying because I am just not interested. Oh, also a fun fact, people don't like it when you dig through their trash. Hello, Alex. Nice to meet you. I think we're going to get along great. You just yelled at me for going through your trash can. Oh wait, that's not yours. I will go through yours now. Ha 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 ha. Screw you, Alex. These are adorable people. It's Evelyn and George. And George is super grumpy. And Evelyn is super sweet and nice. So it's basically your stereotypical older couple. And Alex is their grandson. What I find super duper sad, and I always have found this very sad, is that if you look here, this is a single person bed, and this is the grandparents' room, and Alex has this ginormous room and also a single person bed. So I don't know if George just sleeps in his chair, but they don't sleep in one bed. Don't know how they do that. This is where Pam lives, and Penny. They are the trailer trash of this village. But Penny is super nice, so everyone likes her. This is the pub. This is Pam. Pam is kind of the... yeah, well, she's actually the trailer trash. Penny is the nice person, and she teaches the kids, even though there's no school. And Emily. I hate Emily. Emily's kind of annoying. And she acts like she's on drugs or essential oils all the time. And you shouldn't do that because it's not good for your health. Recreational use only. And it's dark. Hey, Clint. The town blacksmith. So he's the one who will upgrade your tools. Very useful stuff. Oh wait, I'm gonna go to the beach. The beach usually has very useful and expensive selling forageable items, which is very practical in early game because you can sell it for quite a bit. This is what I meant by the worms. These little moving twiggies, they give you stuff. In this case, it's a lost book. The lost books can be read at the library, which is just south of the blacksmith's house, so over here. This is the museum and library, and this is the blacksmith. We haven't been here yet, we just passed through here. One of the first things I always like to do is open the bridge here. That one is closed at the moment, and it takes about 300 wood. And just on the other side are very valuable forageable items. I don't particularly see any of them now, but they are quite useful to have. And useful to sell, mostly. And now we're just gonna go up past the carpentry shop, see if we can meet my boy Linus. So we're gonna go all the way up here. We can't go here yet because it's blocked off. But one day, this is also blocked off. And this is also blocked off, so basically the top part of the map you can't go yet. But it will all open in time. It allows for a slower introduction, which is useful. It takes, I think, 3 days before you get your fishing pole, and about 5 or 8 days before you can go to the mines. This allows you to get a little acclimated to the surroundings and the game itself, so you know how to do stuff, and you've already made some arrangements, so you have a chest, you started planting, you already know how to do everything, you know where everyone is, blah 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 blah. So many forageables. Linus. I love Linus. Hello, Linus. I want to give you a present. You're welcome. A stranger. Hello. Don't take gifts from strangers, people. Never do that. That's not good. Especially not edibles. It's a recipe for disaster. This is the part where some of you will understand that I miss my glow ring. At some point in the game, you will get rings, mostly in the mines, and these rings will give you extra strengths or useful attributes. And one of these is the glow ring, and this glow ring, it glows. So it provides you with a tiny little light as you go on your way, which I find super useful because it means that this isn't also dark. Yay! Okay, let's put some stuff in the chest. They added this really cool new feature that I can't really show, except for the wood. They added this feature that if you can add stuff from your backpack to existing stacks, so it automatically puts everything where it's supposed to go. It's awesome. I love it. And I also love the fact that you have colors for organization for the chest. So, for example, this is all basic farming stuff or starting stuff, so I'm gonna make the chest green. It does have nothing to do with the fact that I love green, obviously. I'm not biased whatsoever. Let's put that in there as well. As I said before, you want to basically save one of everything, especially because of the one of the main quests in the game. It requires you to basically bring one of everything to unlock certain features of the game. But I'm gonna leave it here now for a moment and say good night or whatever time it is down there where you are. I am just gonna upload this first day as also kind of a sound check to see if everything is going well. And hopefully someone enjoys it, and I will try to play another day or two soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.